All right, class, let's get ready. We're going to do a really fun activity now. All right.
Itsy bitsy spider went up the water spout. Down came the rain and washed the spider out. Out came the sunshine and dried up all the rain. And itsy bitsy spider climbed up the spout again.
Come on, everybody. I want you guys doing your hands.
Itsy bitsy spider went up the water spout. Down came the rain and washed the spider out. Out came.
All right. Good job, everybody. That was fun, right? We like doing our dances and stuff in class. All right, everybody. So, while we were watching our Itsy Bitsy Spider video, he seems to have an interesting name, Itsy Bitsy. Did you guys know that that's not actually his name? It's not. So Itsy Bitsy isn't his name, but it describes something about him. If I say something like an eraser is itsy bitsy, what do you think it means? What do you think when you hear the word an itsy bitsy eraser? What do you think?
It's tiny.
Yeah, it's tiny. So itsy bitsy means tiny. And so sometimes there are words that mean the same thing as other words. Can you guys think of any other words that mean tiny? Yeah.
Small.
Small, exactly. Any others that you think of? Maybe one that starts with an L? Yeah.
Little.
Little, exactly. So those are what we call synonyms, and that's a big word. But synonyms are special words that mean the same thing as other words. And so that's what we're going to be learning a lot about today. Now, we're also going to be having a fun kind of rainy day in the classroom. So first, we're going to read a fun story about a rainy day. And then after that, we're going to be grouped up to do some sentence stations. And then after our sentence stations, we're going to work on our own to create the synonym spider. Okay? So, the reason we learn about synonyms is because that is going to help us learn different types of words for when we start to read and write, but also learning different words helps us all the time in our everyday lives. Have you guys ever watched a movie or a TV show and you didn't know what a word meant? Sometimes that happens, and so when we learn these different words in class, you can take that new knowledge home with you. Practice these new words, and now you can know what those words in those TV shows and movies mean. So first, let's go ahead and start with our story. So our story today is called The Rainy Day, and we're going to be looking at the rainy day on our big, huge whiteboard so that everybody can see. Now, who would like to volunteer and show me and the class where the title is on the rainy day? Who can point out where the title is? Yeah.
Right there.
Right up here? Yeah. That's right. So everybody read with me. Let's sound it out. The rainy day. The rainy day. Good job, guys. Now, who wants to find the authors of the book? Go ahead, Ian. Down here, very good, yes. Now, in a normal classroom setting, we would of course have this book projected on a real smartboard or whiteboard, but for the purpose of this video, we're using a laptop, and we're also going to be skipping a few pages to focus keenly on the main kind of subject, which is our synonyms. So, let's go ahead and start reading. there's nothing but wispy mist. Clouds are made of lots and lots of teeny tiny water drops. Inside the clouds, the water drops go bigger and bigger. After a while, they grow so large and so heavy that they fall right out of the sky. The rain falls softly at first. Birds huddle in the trees to keep their feathers dry. Other animals hop and creep and crawl to hide. Now, as we read our book class, does anybody want to tell me if they heard any examples of synonyms? Yeah.
Teeny and tiny.
Teeny and tiny. So what are teeny and tiny? What are they a synonym for? What do they mean the same as?
Small.
Small, exactly, small. Teeny and tiny means small. Now, does anybody know why the birds went hiding in the trees? Yes.
To keep their feathers dry.
To keep their feathers dry, exactly. Very good. So, now that we've read our rainy day book and we got to see it projected on the screen, we're going to start working on our next activity, and this is going to be our sentence stations. So first, I'm going to group everybody up. So you guys can be in a group, and everybody else in the class would be grouped up as well. Now, once everybody is in your groups, we're going to start talking about what this activity is. So our sentence stations, I'm going to give you all your own little stations, and it's all going to be incorporated in your station. So first, we have our sentence starter. So this is our sentence starter, and all of our groups, all of our sentence stations will have this sentence starter. So why don't we read together what this sentence says, okay? Everybody follow along. Ready? When. It. Rains. I like. When it rains, I like, and then it's a blank. So in your groups, you are going to finish the sentence. What do you like to do when it rains? So we have our sentence starter. Let's read it again. When it rains, I like. Ian, I didn't see you reading along with us. Now, along with our sentence starter, we're going to have our buckets of words. Now, in these little buckets, we have lots of word cards. Now, it's our job to read the word cards, and then we're going to choose the words that we want to use in our sentence. So, let's take Miss Mackenzie, for example. When it rains, I like to read, because I don't like going outside getting all wet and muddy when it rains. I like to stay inside and stay dry. So I like to read. So first, I'm going to take my cards out of my bucket and I'm going to spread them all out. Now, if I want to find the word read, what letter should I look for first? What letter does read start with? Yes, Ian. R. It starts with R. So let's look at our pile. I see a G, I see a W, and I see an R. So let's take a look at the R word and let's spell it out and read it. Ready? Read. Read. So I found my read card. So I'm going to put it on my sentence. But let's read the sentence and see if it looks right. When it rains, I like read. That doesn't sound right. What do you think we're missing in between the word like and read? When it rains, I like blank read. Yeah.
I like to read.
I like to read. So we have to find the word to in our pile. So let's take a look. This one starts with a T. Let's read this one. What does this say? TV. No, that's not to. So let's try again. How about this one? Everybody sound it out. Ooh. Two. So we found it. We found our word. So now the sentence, everybody read it out. When it rains, I like to read. But is my sentence finished? How do I know when my sentence is finished? What do I need at the end of it? Yes.
Period.
A period, a dot at the end. And look at that, we have a dot. And there we go. Now my sentence is finished. So now it's your turn to make your own sentences. So I'm going to give everybody their own sentence stations. And you're going to work with your group mates to finish your sentences. You can spread out your words and you can try to figure out a sentence that describes what you like to do when it rains. So what are you guys trying to spell out? What are you trying to say in your sentence?
Play games.
To play games. Okay, so let's take a look. Ready? Let's start trying to read. When it rains, I like to play games. And good, you have a period. Excellent. Yeah, I like to play games too. What kind of games do you like to play when it rains?
Monopoly.
Monopoly is a good one. I can't play Monopoly because it's too many steps for me and it takes too long. Good job, guys. Alrighty, once everybody has finished your sentence stations, I want you to go ahead and clean all of your sentences up, and you're gonna bring me all of your workstation. Thank you. Thank you. All right, guys, great job on your sentences. Now we're gonna finish up our lesson by doing our spider. So let's go ahead and grab him. So the synonym spider is gonna be a fun craft, but we have to follow a couple of different rules with him. So this is our synonym spider. So it's a fun little craft and he's a fun little spider. And you're gonna see that he has some words written on his legs. Now, when you look at those words, we're gonna actually look at them together here. We're gonna read them out. So this would be projected in a classroom. So let's take a look and read the words together. So first leg, little, big, happy, like. So we have little, big, happy, and like. Very good. Now let's read the next ones. Small, large, glad, and joy. So we have small, large, glad, and enjoy. Very good. So when we look at our synonym spider, we're going to see that his legs are synonyms. And so it's your job to pair the synonyms together. Those are the words that mean the same thing. So when you get your worksheet, it's going to look like this. And so first, when you get your synonym spider, you're going to cut all of the things out, all his 8 legs and his head and web. So why don't we look at the synonym spider sheet and count out how many legs? Everybody ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Very good. He has 8 legs. He's a spider. So those 8 legs are each going to pair with one another. So one word over here is going to make the same definition, or it's going to mean the same thing as a word over here. And so when we cut out all the legs, we first need to take the legs, read the words, and then pair them with the word that means the same thing. So let's pretend that Miss Mackenzie has the synonym spider. I found my pairs, and these 2 legs, they mean the same thing. Maybe these have tiny and itsy bitsy. These are the legs that have tiny and itsy bitsy. So when I go to put the legs on the spider, I want to put them across from each other. So we can see that the synonym spider, he has his 2 legs, itsy bitsy and tiny, across from each other. I don't want to put itsy bitsy and tiny on the same side like that. That can get confusing. So we take itsy bitsy and tiny and put them on either side of the spider. And we're going to do that with all the pairs, okay? Does anybody have any questions about that? Any questions? Okay, good. Now, once you have paired your legs and once you have found the synonyms and the words that mean the same thing, you're going to take your glue stick and you're going to glue the legs on the sides of the spider, just like Mommy. And if we have time, you are allowed to color the synonym spider. So I will give everybody your materials and your synonym spiders, and you can go ahead and start working. Now remember, before you bring them to the teacher, I want you to put your names on the back of them so I know who did what. And be careful with those scissors. In a real classroom, we will use baby scissors. All right, go ahead, guys. All right, is everybody almost done? Remember to put your names on them before you turn them in. And once you're finished, turn in all your materials that you used. Thank you. Ian, you need your name on
It's
it.
there.
Where? Oh, okay, I see it. Good job. Thank you. All right, guys. All right, everybody. Great job. Great job, guys. All right. So, overall today, we did a lot of fun activities. So first, remember we danced to our Itsy Bitsy Spider. Second, we ended up reading our rainy day book. Third, we wrote our sentence stations about what we like to do when it's raining. And finally, we did our synonym spider craft. Now, who wants to share what they like to do during this activity? What was your favorite part about today? Yes?
Making the spider.
Making the spider was lots of fun. Now, when we were making the spider, did anybody have trouble finding the words that were the same? Or was it pretty easy? Yeah,
It was easy.
it was easy. It was good because we did a lot of practice with it, right?
Yeah.
And now when you go home, you can start discovering the same words, the words that mean the same thing. Now, next time, we're going to be learning about some words that don't mean the same thing. They mean the opposite things. And those are called antonyms. Now, can anybody think of a word that means something the opposite of another? What do you think?
Big and small.
Big and small, that's a good one. So we'll be learning about that next time. All right, guys, great job on today's lesson. I think we really met our standards. And why don't we talk about those standards before we finish up? So our standards today were to actively engage in group reading activities with purpose and understanding. We also, with guidance and support from adults, we explored the word relationships and nuances in word meanings. So after doing all of our activities, we were able to, given a synonym spider template, we were able to match the synonyms to their pairs with hopefully 80% accuracy or 6 out of 8 correct. So really great job today on our lesson, and thank you for watching.